Okay, well, hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay and families are all okay. I know we all know this is a very difficult time for you with the whole scare about anxiety about the virus and then having to go to online classes. Um, just want you to know we are trying to make it as easy on the students as possible given the sudden nature of it. So anyway, this video is my very first YouTube video. So I'm using a program called OBS, and I've been trying to figure it out, getting it straight, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll get a little better at it. But I do need to get this video out. So it's going to be just on, probably going to be 2 or 3 parts to this because of the size of the video files. I'm not sure what my laptop can do or my internet connection in terms of getting it up to YouTube, because this is going to be on my YouTube channel. My school YouTube channel. I'm going to have my own little Antiques Business YouTube channel, but you won't be required to look at that. So anyway, going to be a YouTube star, and I'll be the new PewDiePie, whatever the heck he was. So let's do at least the first half, maybe, of the schizophrenia chapter. I will email you about information about the YouTube channel, about the videos. I'm going to try to play a video here. I think I can do it. So let's see. Okay. So schizophrenia, very serious disorder. As always, this is a great slide to keep in mind as you study and to go back to. You won't have to know the biology stuff. And I'm going to be very clear about what's on here. It's going to be on the test or not. Okay. Psychosis means a loss of contact with reality. And the thing that you're going to have to do is keep in mind what's irrational, like OCD or thoughts behind depression, which really everyone has to some degree, versus a clear break with reality. So the most well-known one is schizophrenia in terms of disorders. Personality disorganization, hard to define. Might talk about that later. These are the 5 actual, what you see on the screen there on that bottom, the 5 actual DSM-5 categories. All right, disturbances in language and thought, sensation perception, movement, emotional disturbances, and social withdrawal. All right, loosening of associations and delusions. So these are the 2 main ones. This is also the first one, loosening of associations, is sometimes called disorganized thinking. There's lots of terms for it. Hopefully, I hope you read the chapter or are going to read the chapter soon. But the loosening of associations means people will be off on one topic for a little while and then break and jump to a different topic. The degree of loosening of associations can vary. So people can have like almost a sentence and then go off, or they can have little phrases and the phrases break off. So I'm going to see if I can't show you a video here. Delusions are beliefs, and that's going to be the main thing for you to try to separate. Loosening of associations is sort of thinking, and delusions is actually beliefs that are out of touch with reality. So let's see if I can't show you this video. All right. All right, let's see how this goes. I don't know yet how to do it full screen easily, so I hope you can see it. These videos are all on a file, a Word file, in a folder that I put, and I'm forgetting the name of them, but I'm going to email you with some of that. But you'll see that there's schizophrenia videos, a little Word file that has links. I didn't light up the links. You'll have to cut and paste. I'm sorry. Okay.
The third type of symptom that may be present is disorganization of thought and speech.
So that the thoughts are disconnected, and when a person speaks, there's either a great deal of tangential, circumstantial, rambling kinds of lack of connectedness of one thought to the other.
Like in the daytime, when I be outside in the sun, I used to show my friends things that they hadn't seen before, like the halo. See, like the halo, when I was 19, when I was preaching, and I had my trial sermon, I used to see a little light on my shadow on the ground in the daytime. And then now, ever since then, there's a light coming further down over my body, around my shadow. It's over my body, but around my shadow, and I can see the light, which is your halo, I mean your aura. And that's why everybody can't see that. But if you see, you got something to do with the drugs too, we say. And now I don't know what's for real. I know what I see, but I don't know if it's for real or not. And so that's why you say people are different. And see, like that anointing, like see, like sometimes when I come outside, I can see when I look at the trees, the wind starts blowing. Cause we know we get oxygen from the plants, and we get them carbon dioxide. And so it's the wind usually blows sometimes, but it don't blow all the time. Like when I'm in the house a long time, it blows real strong.
Okay. So hold on. I'm sure there's an easy way to do this. So that's loosening of associations. It's associated with what's called speech disorder. And we'll talk about that. So, okay. So another term for that is derailment, cognitive slippage, tangentiality, word salad. Some of you, I wish I had a board here, but there's ways to do whiteboard on here, but I figure with all this short time, I have to get around that. I should show you in the video a little bit if it's possible. But, some of you have friends, I know I do, they will talk around a topic. You're like, get to the point. But it's almost like they're kind of circling the topic, and that's what circumstantial means. And you can be like really out there with it. But what the video you just saw is that's someone who's tangential, and that's just like, I guess doing that, like one straight arrow right away from the topic, never coming back near it. And that's tangential speech is another term for that. There's specific things called word salad, different kinds of things. I just want you to know what loose association is, okay? Another example from the book. All right, I'll let you read those. It's not like the grammar is bad. It's the topic, okay? Incoherence means that the shifts are just so short within a sentence clause. Remember your fifth grade English. But I'm not going to test you on. These are some things be interesting if we have time to go over. Will people make up new words, the neologisms, echolalia, which some of you might know is a symptom of what also? Autism. Okay, delusions, extreme beliefs. Okay, now if you want to watch the movie Conspiracy Theory, this is Mel Gibson is a guy who's kind of on the border between paranoid personality disorder and a paranoid delusion. He believes the government is after him. Okay, fixedness means it's set, and this is really what distinguishes people with schizophrenia sometimes from other people is how there's nothing you can do except medication, which sometimes helps with that. Nothing. You will never be able to talk about it no matter how crazy. I don't like to use that word, and you definitely can't use it. It is. Okay, but Mel Gibson believes the government is after him. That's why he locks his food up when you count. I think we didn't get to play that scene where he comes in and he has to like unlock 10 locks on his house door, and then his food is all individually locked up in little canisters that he's got to unlock. So he's afraid he's being poisoned, and that's a common one, is the being poisoned thing. So these are the types. I do want you to know these, at least bizarre delusions. Erotomanic, they're usually about people being in love. So I don't know if something mix up classes now. But you know that someone believes that they are married to David Letterman. And there's another person who believes, I think he's either married to Madonna or that she's in love with him. I mean, I guess that's part of it. I mean, so stalkers, Hollywood stalkers, other stalkers, sometimes have what's called erotomanic um, delusions. Madonna's, somebody, was it the Letterman guy broke in his house? I think the guy broke in Madonna's house. Probably may have had something like this. So grandiose are fairly um, important, they believe. A very common one is that they are Jesus or God, or that they are the president's special advisor. All right, don't worry about the mood congruent, mood incongruent. Delusions of being controlled. Now, this is usually something like the government, aliens are controlling my thoughts and my movements. Delusions of reference. Someone might walk in a room and say, that chair is moved a certain way. It's moved a certain orientation. There's a message there for me. And it can be a little bit more specific. Persecutory, very common. Paranoid, very dangerous. People with paranoid and persecutory delusions, because they sometimes will act out of fear that people are actually trying to kill them. Somatic delusions, you might believe you're missing a body part. Something we didn't get to is the body dysmorphic disorder, which is not, again, it's like the light version of this, where you believe that you have two hearts or that you have no liver. Thought broadcasting, very common among people with schizophrenia, is that your thoughts can be broadcast like a radio signal, or that you can hear them. And thought insertion is another one, where people, some external person or agency, aliens, all right, are inserting thoughts into your head, like literally. So sensory experiences, the most common one, of course, is hallucinations. And they can be for all the senses. You can have auditory, and the most common one is hearing voices. You have visual, lights, moving objects, places, and people. Gustatory, so taste, it's usually unpleasant, but I mean, really, like they are tasting it. Smells, false sensations, experiences coming from inside the body. I knew somebody who, when that person was off their meds, would feel like spiders were running under their skin, but like literally, not like, oh, you got a creepy feeling like. It's like, yes, there's spiders running under my skin. I guess that might be considered tactile. So somatic, just false sensations from inside, all right, or not just beneath the skin. So something similar to that. Catatonia used to be a whole separate category. These are the people with the most serious levels of schizophrenia. They will actually stay in fixed postures. I wish you could see me. Maybe I need to step back from the camera. I picked up a little webcam. I had a webcam before you were born, actually. So long gone, but I picked up another one because I haven't had one that might be better than this, my old laptop camera. I'd stand up to demonstrate, but people will be in stiff postures, like just stiff. You can move them, but they'll just stay like that, and they'll be quiet. So all these different types, I'm not going to test you on that, but just know what catatonia is. The book's got some examples. It's a specifier. It used to be a separate subcategory, a little bit different. Don't worry about the different. So I'm not going to go back over like what's on the test and what isn't. Right now, you need to be making lists of what did he say was not on the test. The level of specificity. Know what catatonia is, but you don't have to know all these specific details. Just know what it is, be able to talk about it a little bit. Emotional disturbance, where if you ever talk to somebody who's in a severe schizophrenic state, flattened affect, these are old terms too from old psychiatry. They don't express any emotion in their face. Their faces are almost flattened out when their emotions, or they're blunted. It's like a little bit of emotion. It's almost like the emotions are blunted. not blunts like you're thinking, but blunted. Anhedonia is a lack of pleasure, which is also a symptom of, I'll let you think about that, but inappropriate emotions. They'll laugh when things are sad, be sad when things are funny. So severe, these are the emotional disorders. Social withdrawal, just they're in their own fantasy world. They don't like hanging out with people. They're checked out. If there's a term that makes sense mentally, what they mean by psychological. Don't worry about this. Diagnosis of psychotic disorders. Some people, I think I've seen this, I'm trying to remember, you can have psychotic symptoms for lots of reasons, but not end up with a psychotic disorder or have a psychotic disorder. Extreme stress can cause it in some people. Okay. So these are the main ones. I'm going to go over these a little bit. So schizophrenia, this is like the short version of PTSD called acute stress disorder. It's not similar symptom-wise, but it's the same kind of thing where if it's less than 6 months, this is what you call it. Schizoaffective is a mix of schizophrenia that doesn't quite meet criteria for schizophrenia and other mood disorders like depression or bipolar. So you've got both a mood disorder. You have to distinguish. This would be high-level ninja level kind of things. If you're understanding what a mood disorder is, basically depression or bipolar, versus a psychotic disorder. You have a mix of them. Brief psychotic disorder and delusional disorder, I think we're going to talk about a little bit later as a separate non-schizophrenia psychotic disorder. All right, so same things here. You've got to have a certain amount of symptoms. All right, I meant to do that. Sorry. My first time. Give me a little break. All right, so you've got to have 2 out of 5. Let's see if they've got it. So I'll go back over there. Here it is. So basically, this is right from the DSM-5. You have to have 2 of these 5. Okay? We went over this. Negative symptoms are symptoms where you lack something. So of all the things we just talked about, delusions would be a positive symptom because it's something you have. You have a delusion. Negative symptoms is because you don't have something, like the flat affect. All right, you've got to have 2 of these, but one of these has to be 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. All right, you have to have 2 of these, but one of them, of the 2, has to be 1, 2, or 3 for you to get a diagnosis of schizophrenia, where the MD or the psychologist writes in a little block that says, goes to the insurance company, 295.90 is the number that goes in there. Okay? And again, all the same things cannot be true. This should all be familiar to you at this point. Don't worry about this stuff, about first episode, multiple episodes. It's important for diagnosis and prognosis in terms of how the person's going to be. I don't know if it's in here, but you know their life expectancy is 25 years below the average life expectancy. A lot of that's due to the smoking, very, very high. So this is old stuff. You don't have to know the old subtypes. This would be interesting because they're trying to show that there were biological and less biologically driven types of schizophrenia. I don't know where all that literature is now. You do not have to know all this stuff that I'm clicking over. All right? It really is not something you'd want to have. Okay, I'm going to end this part here. There'll be a part 2 and maybe a part 3. And I'm going to go over all the other psychotic disorders. Okay?